Hey guys, Brandon here from Bozarth Custom Woodworks. Today I want to show you guys how I do some finishing on this table I'm refinishing. So I started out sanding it down using my palm sander. I like to use this Klingspor. I think it's the best deal in town. They make really good sandpaper and they got good prices. I get it online. Give you guys the link in the show notes. Next, after I get it from say 80 or 100 grit, I'll go down to 120 with that, and then I'll use some 150, and I'll just go with the grain to get out all the kind of swirl marks it leaves, and just really kind of fine tune everything, make sure it's gonna look real good. After that, if there's any kind of like holes or little mess ups, you can always use some wood filler. I like to get this fan wood stuff. It's kind of more of like an oil base. It dries really quick, and you can get different colors. It's stainable, does a pretty good job. I wouldn't recommend this wood filler stuff you get at Home Depot or whatever. It's just kind of garbage. So definitely go with this. I think one of these is like $5. Not too bad. So once you're all prepped and ready, I wish I had done this video before sooner, but basically I have it stained now. So to start with cherry, I like to do what they call a wash coat. Basically I use this wax-free shellac. It's called the seal coat. I definitely want to get this one because otherwise, if you just get the regular shellac, it has wax in it, and that's just no good. I tried it one time and it just didn't work. So definitely get this one. You probably got to get it online. I think I got this on Amazon. And then you're going to want to dilute it down 50%, so half and half. I use just a mason jar, draw a little line, half and half, nothing too special, but you want to dilute it with denatured alcohol. It's going to basically take it from a 2-pound cut to a 1 pound. That's what you want, just real thin. So once I get it mixed up, I'll just use a rag. I'll cut this into small pieces, ball it up, and I'll just go straight with the grain. Try to not overlap it. Try not to miss anything. If you overlap it, you're going to see the stain is going to be lighter. So try to do your best, just getting one solid coat on everything. You let that dry maybe about 30 minutes. You don't have to wait very long. It dries really quick with alcohol in it. After that, you can start staining. For this, customer chose this brown mahogany stain for general finishes. They're awesome. These gel stains are so much better than just a regular stain. They're a little bit more, but they're totally worth it in my book. You can get these online. Some woodworking stores have it. They're pretty easy to find though. So then I'll stain that. I like using these pads. I get this at Home Depot or Harbor Freight. They're like $3 for this whole pack. They make the job a lot quicker, easier. It's just they're pretty good. So I use that. I'll dip it and rub it around, and then I'll take the rag and I'll wipe it off pretty quickly. You want to start with just a pretty manageable section at a time, and just keep moving. Make sure you get all the excess off. Otherwise, it just won't look good. So after you get it stained, you're gonna want to let it dry a few hours. I think it probably says 4 hours. Depending on how hot it is, From there, you're going to do a clear coat next. For this job, I'm doing a oil-based polyurethane. It's a satin finish. You can get this at Home Depot, Lowe's, pretty much anywhere. It's real good. The difference between the oil base and like a water base, you're just going to get a lot more vibrance, and the grain's really going to pop versus water base. Water base is easier to clean up, probably better on the environment, but really you're going to get a much better finish with this oil base. So I definitely recommend that. You can also use like a lacquer thinner. It's by Def. I think I got this at Home Depot. It works really good too. I think the polyurethane is a little more durable though. So for this type of thing, I definitely want probably a poly. So I'll be spraying this. I'm going to be using my HVLP sprayer. I got this at Home Depot probably a few years ago. I think I paid about $60 or so. It's definitely worth it. This one's got a gauge on it for the pressure. Really you want to keep it, I usually keep it about between 20 and 30, 35, somewhere around there. So pretty low pressure. To use this, you're going to fill it up here. It has different adjustments. This is for how much material, how much poly is going to come out. This is going to adjust the fan, like how far out it sprays. You can adjust that there, and then you can adjust the air pressure right here. So to do the poly, usually you want to thin it about 20%. So I usually pour it in here, depending on how much I want. There's measurements on here. I use the mils just because it's easy math. So say I go to 300, I'm going to times that by 20% and then add the rest with mineral spirits. Just for the oil base. If you're using a water base, you just pour some good water in there. If you're using a lacquer, you just use lacquer thinner. So I got that all set up in here. Before you guys go spraying, you want to have some really good ventilation going. So I have my fan going. Definitely want to use safety glasses and a ventilator. So let me get all set up, and then I'll show you how I spray. Before I go spraying, I like to spray everything down with the air compressor, just clean it all up, get all the dust, and then I'll use this tack cloth. Which you can get online. I'm not really sure where I got this, but definitely it's real sticky and tacky, so it'll get up all that fine dust. Just want to rub it down real good. Make sure everything's nice and clean, and then we'll get spraying. Probably one of the most important parts to getting a good finish, a nice smooth finish at least, is sanding in between. I think a lot of people don't sand in between and they wonder why it's so rough. And the big key is just using some, I use some 400 grit sandpaper, like a wet, dry sandpaper, and I'll just get a cup of water and basically just dip it in here and just do a really light rub. Like basically just not even putting a lot of pressure, just barely touching it on here. You just kind of want to get those bumps out where dust kind of settled while the finish was still wet. Just do a little section, feel it, see if there's still some bumps, and just do real light. You don't want to do too much. And just keep dipping in the water, working your way around kind of systematically. And once you get that all sanded, you just do another coat. I'm going to do about 3 coats on this, just get a real nice finish on it to protect it. Another option you can use, instead of just the sandpaper, you can use just some steel wool. This is a 4O steel wool. It works pretty good, but I really like the sandpaper just because it helps with getting the bigger bumps and everything. So that's kind of what I prefer. So now that we got it all sanded down, you can take just a paper towel or rag, just kind of get any excess water that was on here, and then to take the tack cloth again and just go over it real diligently, get all that dust or particles, whatever is left on there. Just get it all cleaned up, and we'll put another coat on it, just spraying it again. And we'll just keep repeating the process. So I just wanted to kind of go over a few tips for using the spray gun. So for the first coat, I basically went with the grain. For the second coat, I'm going to go the opposite way, this way. That just kind of gets a better even coat, just better finish. Also using it, if I had it hooked up to the air, basically squeeze the trigger halfway, and that's going to get the air going. Then you're going to squeeze it the rest of the way, and that's going to get the finish coming out. So if you keep the air going the entire time, it just keeps more constant pressure. Every time you squeeze the trigger, it kind of fluctuates, and by holding the trigger the whole time, that just keeps the pressure more consistent, and the finish is more consistent. Also, I don't think I went over, so this way, right now I'm just going flat on the surface, and I want my my material coming out this way. But say if I was doing a kind of more vertical, I'd want to turn the nozzle tip opposite direction, and that would expand the fan would kind of be going this way, and that would be better for like a vertical application. So on this, it twists really easily. It's pretty easy to go back and forth. So I hope I answered all you guys' questions. If there's something I didn't cover, or just want to know more about stuff, send me a message, comment. Please like us and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.